Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I hope that this video finds you well. Jim Jordan. I was a huge fan. I loved Jim Jordan. I covered all of his oversight committee hearings under the Biden administration. You know, he gave great speeches. It looked like he had a backbone. He held all these committee hearings and gave these speeches about how corruption is bad and those that are involved in corruption, especially in government against we, the American people, should be held accountable. But now that Donald Trump is truly trying to hold big tech accountable, Jim Jordan is actually going and fighting against Trump and his administration and fighting on behalf of big tech. And this breaks my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, smash that thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment. Where are you tuning in from? And before we continue, today's sponsor is Verity Metals. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've been looking at the price of gold and silver, but especially gold, it's on the up. And this is just the beginning. Why? Because Donald Trump is taking us back to the gold standard. No more fiat money printed out of thin air, backed by Saudi Arabian oil that's not even ours. We are going back to real money. We're going back to tariffs and gold. Verity Metals is a patriot company, family-owned, faith-based, Trump supporters, and my personal good friends. Matthew Geiger, the owner, will be more than happy to give you free silver when you call or text them at 480-717-9081. Tell him that Vlad sent you, and then your next order gets some free silver. We're in the golden age of America. Gold is on the up, and we're going back to the gold standard. Get you some gold. They do IRAs, 401ks, and everything in between. Links down below in the description. Now, from here, we're jumping onto my Twitter page, and I'm gonna play you this video. Listen to this. Breaks my heart.
Jim Jordan, nice guy, but he's always carried the water for big tech, and he's carrying the water for big tech now because now that Trump's antitrust law enforcers are really heating up their efforts against Google and Facebook and Amazon and Apple, you see Jim Jordan doing something he hasn't done for 4 years. For 4 years of unprecedented Republican lawfare against Trump, his top aides, his supporters, parents, Christians, you never saw Jim Jordan trying to do anything at the Biden Justice Department to stop them. You never saw him trying to cut their funding. You never saw him trying to shut down agencies like the Civil Rights Division or the DC U.S. Attorney's Office, who are the tips of the spear in this persecution. But now that we have Trump's antitrust law enforcers at the FTC and the Antitrust Division over the target on Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple, Jim Jordan all of a sudden wants to use the reconciliation process to effectively gut and end the Federal Trade Commission, while the Federal Trade Commission is just about ready to hold Meta, Facebook, accountable for its antitrust abuses. This is the same Facebook that spent $400 million chasing Trump out of office in 2020, subjecting him to lawfare.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? So Jim Jordan, right? He allowed between 2021 and 2024 for the government under the Democrats and big tech to silence Americans, silence Donald Trump. They literally kicked the president of the United States off all social medias. Now that Trump wants to hold them accountable, Jim Jordan says, whoa. Let's just do a reconciliation bill. Means just forgive him and move on. Why? I think I have an idea. A big campaign donation from somebody probably came in. I'm a huge fan of Jim Jordan. Well, I was. And if you've been watching my show for the last 4 years, you know how much I covered his, everything he did. It's going to be interesting how this all plays out. Let's see if Jim Jordan goes on any show anytime soon and kind of explains what's happening. But man, it's not looking good right now, because right now Jim can actually hop on the side of the Trump administration and say, you know what? Let's squeeze these sons of guns. Let's set an example so that it never happens again. Instead, he's saying, hey, let's forgive him. Let's reconcile. No. You kicked off people for posting prayers. for posting that they're pro-life. They lost everything, all their socials, and couldn't even make a new social account again. No reconciliation, no forgiveness. We want justice. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this? Subscribe, smash a thumbs up, share this with a friend or two. I'm out.